So this is just a video about making a better BCM Fooler assembly. So the BCM Fooler, as you probably remember, is the resistor matrix which fakes voltage tap voltages for the BCM, so we can simulate a perfectly balanced pack for various lithium systems. Okay, so this is a standard BCM Fooler printed circuit board here. This was designed years ago. Obviously it's been adapted and modified to work with various things that we've tried over the years. So it basically uses a voltage tap harness. This is the harness which you recover from the battery board, orange end plate near the switchboard, and then it just solders to this printed circuit board, as you can see here. Now this one, it's important to use resistors which are close tolerance, so 1% is the absolute minimum tolerance that you should use. All my BCM Foolers now are made with 0.1% tolerance resistors, so that just tightens it all up a little bit and gives us a bit better accuracy. And this one has, as you can see, two wires coming into it here. The brown and yellow wires are the high voltage from the battery. So that is the 160, 144 volts, whatever voltage it is coming in. And the black wire here is a 5 volt input signal, and that comes in via one of these, which plugs into the back of the MCMs, which you saw on the previous video. It's just a very low current 5 volt signal. It has a series resistor in this black lead here, and here what we have is an optocoupler, and this is a high voltage optocoupler, and what that does is that disconnects the high voltage from the resistor matrix when the car is not turned on. So when the car is turned on, 5 volts comes down here through this limiting resistor and activates the optocoupler, which then switches in the high voltage and allows the high voltage through the LED and the resistor matrix. Now, because this is going to be used on a 72 cell system, I've incorporated a 4.7k pre-resistor in this, which goes into the positive lead, which is the brown lead here. So I've actually put that in the leg of the LED. That raises the LED off the floor as you're off the surface of the printed circuit board. So yeah, it comes through here, through the LED, through the pre-resistor, and then the voltage that the BCM Fooler sees is the voltage minus the 4.7k pre-resistor. So this one is, as I say, it's a 0.1%, and this is made with 10 times 10k 0.1% resistors and a 4.7k 1% pre-resistor. So that's basically the BCM Fooler circuit which I'm going to be using. It's very easy to use and make, and that just plugs into the BCM and wires up to the battery, and away you go. Now obviously we don't want this flapping around because there's high voltages on the back and we don't want it shorting out against anything. So encapsulating it or putting it in a box is something I was looking at, and what I have found is I found this. You can see the code. This is a Multicomp little red box. Nice, I like red because it indicates sort of high voltage, and it has a little clip top, and this is what it looks like opened up. So you can see here, now it has 4 printed circuit board standoffs inside. I've snipped those off just using a pair of wire snips to get a flat bottom, because as you're probably going to imagine, the printed circuit board for the BCM Fooler fits perfectly inside that. So what you do is you do some cutouts. It's got some cutouts at the side, so you cut out those for the input and output. You drill a hole for where the LED is going to protrude, and you also chop out the side here, and that's where the tap voltage wires will leave the board. So when it all together, you get it looking something like that. So the voltage wires come out of here, the input wires, the high voltage and the 5 volt DC go in there, and you've got a very nice little insulated box which you could mount using adhesive pad, or you've got these 2 nice little screw mountings here, and this top just clips on. So here's one I made earlier in the Grand Traditions of Blue Peter, which is a television show over here, kids show, where they had numerous models made. So then you end up with something like this. It all just fits into that box, and you have the very nice, secure, safe HV in there, and it just all clips together very nicely. So, and these boxes are really cheap, only a couple of dollars, something like that. I got it from Farnell, but you saw the part number there. So if you want to put one in those boxes, then you can do that. So I'll just show you. Actually, I'll put the other one together. So now I've made this one. I'm just going to put it inside the box, or try to. So basically that sits in there like that, push that in. So that is now pushed into there nice and firmly. Bring the HV up here because that's going to come out of the top opening, and the low voltage is going to come out of the lower one down here. And then you just squash all these wires up together. So you need to come over here. You need to get these out of this gap at the edge here. So push all these down. I probably should have made that one there slightly longer. You get the gist of it. And then we get the top. Find the top. Here it is. And let's see if we can actually get this to go on properly. Just push all the wires through. And there we are. So you can see that it's got the two wires coming out of there. That's the HV, the low voltage coming out of this bottom one, and all the wires out there at the top, and all just snaps together. So that's a really nice little BCM Fooler case, and that's what I'll be using for all the 72 cell LTO setups.